is such a great sport. I mean, I really love it. I wasn't a particularly fit child, I wasn't particularly good at any other sport, but swimming is something I really love, and it's really lovely to share that passion for swimming that I have and be part of this.
Well, I'm really excited that there's so many people taking part of all abilities, and I think it's great that there's lots of youngsters that can swim with their mums and dads and stuff, and a lot of people have never done this before.
This British Gas Swim Britain initiative is so important. It's a great way to get families but also friends and people involved in swimming.
They're all here to support each other, which is, you know, great morale, and hopefully will boost their confidence and self-esteem.
What we want is that in the next few years we want 500,000 people swimming regularly, and the benefits of that are huge.
It's a big challenge, but I think having events like this is really going to make a big difference to that.
Good evening and welcome to Tollcross International Swimming Centre for coverage of the Scottish Gas National Swimming Championships, brought to you live and exclusive by Scottish Swimming in a partnership with Glasgow Life, Scottish Gas, Speedo and QuipU TV. I'm Drew Gordon and I'll be your guide to, first of all, these final sessions and to the other 3 days of swimming. We hope there'll be world-class events and results. The cream of Scotland swimming vie for their place on Team Scotland at the 2014 Commonwealth Games. Now we're going to give you a look back at a few of the highlights this morning, and very exciting time, and it just lit the championships up from day one, session one, and that's what you want. You want to have an atmosphere that fast swimming is here for all. A 64 point to get the meet up and running a little bit faster in these A finals. That was a very good start from one of the younger swimmers in the meet. Then we had Robbie Rennick with his first outing on the 100 freestyle. Not his signature event, but he set a 50 point, brought home some fast times alongside him and puts him in the A final for that. Following up, of course, we had another couple of Scottish swimmers who came in on that 50 point, and they started to crowd out in the 50 point 100 freestyles. Heat 7 saw Kieran McGurkin being dragged in by the Belgians and then overtaking them and really putting in a super Heat 7 50.51 time in the breaststroke. The 50 breaststroke, very sharp times from the very beginning in these morning heats. That's the heats for the faster swimmers. And then Ross Murdoch set a 27.28 Scottish and British record, and a time that ranks him #1 in the world so far in the 2014 long course season. And then Hannah Miley in her signature event, the 400 AM. What we all hope she would do is to show that class and put a good rehearsal in for what should be a great final. She did the qualifying time in the heats, but it only counts in the final. So taking a look at the evening session, the events that are up. The order is the multi-class para swimming, then the B final, and then the A final. There's your events: the women's 100 fly, the men's 100 free with a crowd around the 50 point, two 200s with the 200 freestyle, an open event, the men's 200 fly looking good, strong 50s of course from the morning session. Hannah and her time, and anyone who can join her in the 400 IM. The men's fastest heat of the 1500 with Stephen Milne going for a place in the team, and the women's 4x200 freestyle team relay just anchors with a team event, a very exciting prospect of tonight's finals. I'm joined of course today by Dave Leith, former Commonwealth swimmer, was attending in 3 games, the last one in Melbourne. Welcome Dave, and is there any particular event that you're looking forward to tonight?
No, there's too many to mention, Drew, I would say. Every event tonight, there's got something that I think is going to be really exciting to watch out for. So right through from the very beginning, we've got a 100-metre butterfly, which we're looking at is just going to be a real solid race. You know, all those girls are going to be looking for that top spot, potentially to put them in contention for the relay position. So right from the start, there's going to be exciting stuff to watch. And I think it's going to really sort of come right through to a climax with Stephen Milne in that 1500. And he'll be looking for personal best times.
Well, we'll hear more from Dave during the session. Now, this week's Championships has as much to do with you at home as it does the swimmers here. And we want you to play your part in making this event Scottish swimming's biggest and best ever national championships. To have your say, tweet us using the hashtag SGNC2014. Get that written down and get tweeting. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Scottish Swimming. And wherever you are in the world, you're swimming this weekend, take a picture and Instagram it into us using the same hashtag SGNC2014. All the social media is part of Scottish Swimming's commitment to bringing you the most exciting and engaging coverage of national championships, and all of this week's live coverage you'll be able to catch up on the Scottish Swimming YouTube channel. So if you'd like to keep up with all the latest Scottish Swimming video content, here's how.
Welcome to Scottish Swimming's official YouTube channel. No matter if you compete or participate in swimming, disability swimming, diving, synchro, open water, water polo or masters, if you're a teacher, tutor or coach, or simply interested in what we're up to, this is the place to find it, from wherever you are in the world. On our channel, you can watch our key events live or on demand, or simply the highlights afterwards, all for free 24/7. If you subscribe, you'll not miss any new videos, so what are you waiting for?
Paul, let's talk about some of the...
So there you go, folks. Get onto YouTube to watch all 12 sessions from the championships. You know it does help. And get tweeting, and we'll read out the best throughout the weekend.
From Mr. Stephen Hogan.
We're only a few minutes away from the start of the session.
Can he do it tonight?
Well, let's hope so, Stephen. Really close here. The multi-classification events for swimmers with a disability. There's only a certain number in the Commonwealth Games programme, but the one that Stephen Hogan's swimming tonight, the S9.
Well, just time to tell you about another great event being hosted this month by Scottish Swimming. It's the Commonwealth Games Water Polo, held up in Aberdeen in this month, and it's a fantastic event to run water polo as a possible entry to the Commonwealth Games programme.
Race 3 tonight on the women's 100 butterfly.
if you're in Aberdeen, 5th to 12th of April, come along, Aberdeen Sports Village. For more information at scottishwomen.com/CWPC 2014.
We saw another nomination time achieved later on after that.
Well, have you ever seen a top-class water polo match?
No, only on television, Drew.
It's something special. I mean, there are animals in there, but lots of skills and lots of fitness.
Yeah.
Really hard sport to play.
Big, strong chaps.
So there's a crowding around 100 freestyle. The team places, the relay places. That's got to be a big focus this evening for some swimmers. But they're off event. I mean, you know, I think Stephen Milne came out of the final to concentrate on his 1500.
Yeah, I mean, I think those spots are really up for grabs tonight. They're gonna be a little bit anxious coming through into this final. Even guys like Robbie will be expecting to come out on top. So I think there's a few of the young guys that will be looking to take that top spot, and I think it's going to be a really great race.
Yeah, the 3 swims, the 50 points, the easy ones in the heats, and this is a very unusual competition, isn't it? Where you go heats in the morning, finals at night. There's no semis, so you know you're into tension right away after the heats. You have no chance to sort out anything in the semis. We're going to have the officials for the final session. No start list.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our referees, Tom Mills and Andrew McRoberts. And our starters, Stuart Finlayson and Kevin Patterson. Technical officials, you may now take your seats.
Well, the session being readied, of course. Remember, this is a full rehearsal using all the new systems and procedures in the new layout of the Tollcross facility. And just chatting to one or two of the officials over the break coming into the finals. There are one or two glitches. Don't want to be too critical at this stage, but better to find them now than in the Commonwealth Games itself. For example, we would love to show you the race clock, but technically it's just not been possible to do that. And, well, maybe next time round, or even tomorrow, if they can get it sorted. The call room's very busy. The space for the athletes.
In lane 3, representing Belgium, Micah
the pathways about the building.
In lane 6, representing Dumfries Dolphins, Eve White. In lane 2, representing Lincoln Vulcans, Tara Hayworth. In lane 7, representing the Isle of Man, Eve Robinson. In lane 1, representing South Lanarkshire,
we now get the first
Finnan.
presentation.
In lane 8, representing Stirling Swim, Eleanor Spencer. In lane 0, representing Belgium, Kim Janssens. And in lane 9, representing East Lothian, Emma Crawford.
So the B final, women's 100 fly ready. Janssens, Finnan, Hayworth, Ramel, Boyce, Kane, White, Robinson, Spencer, Crawford. Remember, at these Scottish National Championships, it's the fastest 10 Scots that go into the final. It's a 10-lane pool using all lanes. Normally in a 10-lane pool, you might only use the middle 8 lanes for the final. So the star in this one is lane 4, Kimberly Boyce, the Belgian sprinter. Second chance, the Belgian group coming off a Tenerife training camp and coming here to race. Tired, weary, travelling, hard work in Tenerife, and asking them to race with good skills, good control, good discipline.
Yeah, great skills. Turning her head to the side there just to make sure she can stay flat. Out very, very quickly here.
Scots making the final here at the Scottish Championships. No surprise. Belgium.
27.29. It's a pretty quick split, Drew. Should be looking to break under the minute barrier with that sort of a split.
Eleanor Spencer from Stirling.
101.34. That was the time from the heats. She's away from the field. In lane 5, Gemma Kane of Swim Ulster. And then in 3, we have Maika Ramel, the second of the Viamse Club swimmers from Belgium. Boyce going all out here. You can see that it's heavy, it's tired. And this is only a 100 butterfly. 59.73. Excellent swim. But 103 in the second and third places. In the B final, going for times. Getting a second chance at the Cherry. A very committed swim there.
Yeah, that was different classes. Really, really strong swim right from the start. Dropped off a little bit towards the end, but it's a pretty out very, very strong indeed.
Kimberly Boyce of Belgium, 59.73. A class apart, and you can see that visually. Second time, 103.11 to Gemma Kane with a very strong finish, the Ulster swimmer. Number 3, Ramael Maike, the second swimmer from Viamse over there in Belgium, coached by Ron Gus. Dutch by origin, moved to Belgium.
Trying to keep it as flat, very, very tired. Spotted the wall perfectly, and it was a pretty decent finish.
You can't see the legs at all there, can you?
No, she's tired.
Yep.
I think that early pace just hurt her a little bit, but you have to get out there and go for it.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 8 finalists for
well,
the women's 100 metres.
This is where it all comes down to the swim. The 100 butterfly, 59.53, the qualifying time for nomination for selection.
In lane 3, representing Edinburgh University, Emily Jones. In lane 6, representing the University of Stirling,
Emily
Laura
Jones.
Dawson.
Edinburgh.
In lane 2, representing East Lothian, Rachel Sharples. In lane 7, representing Carnegie, Tane Bruce. In lane 1, representing Best, Kirsty Armstrong. In lane 8, representing Edinburgh University, Jessica Wilkie. In lane 0, representing the City of Glasgow, Anna Fleming. And in lane 9, representing Edinburgh University, Jennifer Davis. Ladies and gentlemen, the athletes in the A final of the women's 100 metres butterfly.
Well, as it's going to be throughout this championships, it's the 10 fastest.
A final, the battle between Raquel Matos and Fiona Donnelly is the expected one, lanes 4 and 5. And already Raquel of East Lothian, the 18-year-old, going out very swiftly on this first 50. Donnelly looking very clean in lane 5, and that's where the battles are coming. How's it looking so far, Dave?
Looking very strong. First 50 from Raquel Matos there. Really determined swim. Just needs to make sure she holds her skills together and really builds this last 50. It's going to be a real close battle though.
So Donnelly coming through. 59.53. Donnelly, the Warner swimmer, with each stroke cutting in. Matos under pressure. Will she buckle? Third place looks as if it might go to lane 3, Emily Jones. But Donnelly looks as if she's just spotted it perfectly. Nice finish. 59.96. Under the minute, but just outside the nomination time of 59.53. Just didn't get out that little bit quick enough. Donnelly, Matos and Jones then in a very tough battle at the front of that 100 fly. Donnelly just snicking under the minute. Here it comes, another look.
Paced it perfectly there, Drew, Fiona. She absolutely paced it to perfection. Just to come through with enough energy, come through real strong at the end. Spotted the wall pretty well as well. Dipping under the minute barrier is a really brilliant swim.
Yeah, it's a good judgment of the finish. Nice acceleration in the third 25. That's where all the damage was done on the early leader, Raquel Matos.
Congratulations to Taylor as well, the Navy swimmer. We are hoping to...
So Fiona Donnelly then winning the battle that was set up for the 100 butterfly.
Got Amy Cameron, who will be speaking to us.
And it's a chance to hear from the winner.
Congratulations, Fiona. That was an epic battle between you and Raquel. How do you feel about your performance?
I'm really happy with that. I was really pleased with my swim this morning. To say it was the morning heat swim, probably one of the fastest times I've ever done, but I'm so happy with tonight. I'm really happy with that swim.
Well done, it was great. Now, you're training over in the States at the moment. What's it like being back on home soil swimming here at Tollcross?
It feels amazing. This place has changed dramatically since I last been here, but it's an amazing pool, and Glasgow is going to be amazing for the Commonwealth Games.
Thank you very much. Everybody, let's have a massive round of applause for our national champion, Fiona.
Good job.
Well, she did well after that 100 fly to get any breath left to answer the questions.
You can see how tired she was at the end of that. She just gave it absolutely everything.
Yeah. How will she feel about being so close? 59.5, 59.9.
As Amy mentioned, training.
Always a little bit bittersweet, I think. She'll be happy to get the win, but always looking for the next thing, I think.
There might be places up for grabs in the medley relay, so that 100-metre butterfly victory might just be vital for her.
Well, I like the way she held it back on the first 50, but, you know, as you said earlier today, at some stage, you've got to get out there, you know, be in the mix. In fact, she won it quite cleanly, but getting out with them and doing that would have made the difference.
Yeah, you can't be too fast, you know. It's how you get that. I thought Raquel was maybe just a fraction too aggressive with it, but Fiona faced it.
In lane 5, representing Carnegie, Stefan Hogan. In lane 3, representing North Ayrshire, Fraser Kane. In lane 6, representing Geary, Connor Morrison. In lane 2, representing Larne, James Hamilton. In lane 7, representing West Lothian, Robert Dalgleish. In lane 1, representing Highland, Craig McLean. Also representing Highland in lane 8, Matthew Patterson. In lane 0, representing Stirling Swim, Isaac Dunning. And in lane 9, representing Ren 96, Andrew Mullen. Ladies and gentlemen, the multi-classification athletes for the men's 100 meters freestyle.
This is the men's 100 metre freestyle finals, and the first one is the multi-class. In this field in lane 5, watch for Stefan Hoggen and his time. The Carnegie 21-year-old is the only one whose class is in the Commonwealth Games programme, and he's looking at a 1:00.89 qualifying time. In lane 4, James Clegg out there from East Lothian, 57.69 in the heats. Hoggen went 1:00.91, very, very close to that qualifying time. Not all these classes have 100 freestyle in the Commonwealth Games. On this occasion, it's lane 5, Stefan Hoggen. Really got to bring it back now. Over in lane 2, James Hamilton of Larne, swimming very well. Remember, these classes are mixed, so it's not really a comparison against the leader. They're all swimming in their own field, in their own class, and for different targets. Well, here he comes then, 56.89. And Stefan Hoggen, 1:00.99. Well, just slipped out. That little bit of easing off. So the freestyle for the multi-class proving to be fast, but for some not quite fast enough at this stage, and well, disappointment. But the national championships, Clegg 56.89, Hoggen at 1:00.09, and Kane with a 1:02.04, just snicked the third place in that very exciting final.
See James Clegg a little bit out in the front there. Pretty solid finish for him. Spotted the wall well. We'll be used to that, even though he's visually impaired. Stefan Hoggen breaking 1:01 barrier twice today and still not getting under a minute .89. He'll be absolutely heartbroken.
Yeah, tough at the end. And once those barriers drop down, and you know, in the finals, the tension can be terrific. No semi-finals to sort out the little mistakes. It's heats and right in then to the centre of the fire.
Closest to the world record for his particular classification. 1,000 points equivalent to the world record swim. Works in pretty much the same way as a few points. And Stefan Hoggen will absolutely love it. 1.99.
So the men's 100 freestyle goes from the multi-class to the B final. As we said, just to remind you, the A final is reserved for the Scottish swimmers, top 10. But you've got some very good class swimmers in this B final. The Belgians, Timmers and Surgelus, part of a very successful European junior winning team. And then they moved on to the seniors and have actually got themselves into medal situations at the senior European. So their development from European juniors through to seniors, that's the kind of thing we're looking for from this depth of talent here in Tollcross.
87 points in fourth place. So the 1, 2, 3, Stefan Hoggen.
David Thompson of Loughborough, Ulster Summerin, Tiger Summerin, and then a few Scots who made it into the B final. And of course that precedes the mouth-watering final of the 100 freestyle that'll come thereafter. So the B final.
Ladies and gentlemen, please now welcome the athletes for the B final of the men's 100 metres freestyle. In lane 4, representing Loughborough, David Thompson. In lane 5, representing Belgium, Peter Timmers. In lane 3, representing Swim Ulster, Curtis Coulter. In lane 6, representing Belgium, Glenn Surgalus. In lane 2, representing the University of Stirling, Joshua Walsh. In lane 7, representing Loughborough, Steve King. In lane 1, representing Edinburgh University, Matthew Parks. In lane 8, representing Aberdeen, Solomon Butt. In lane 0, representing Jersey Tigers, Tom Gallachen. And in lane 9, representing Fife Performance, Greg Watson. Ladies and gentlemen, the B finalists for the men's 100 metres freestyle.
Might of Timmers and Surgalus of Belgium, and David Thompson coming up from Loughborough. Good experience, and those in the audience, they'll get a chance to see some class swimming. Surgalus, European junior champion, and Timmers, a senior European medalist on short course. Summers being told to stand down. Just a little problem. 100 freestylers, well, you know, they're the svelte, super tuned athletes. It's not good for the 100 freestylers to be up and down. Well, most unusual these days to see any kind of hiccup at the beginning of the race. Back to starter. So Timmers in 5, Surgalus in 6. David Thompson with a 50.6 from the morning heat is in lane 4.
Guys looking good in the middle of the pool. Peter Timmers, Glenn Surgalus from Belgium looking very, very fast. David Thompson really taking this race from the front. 24.47. We'll be looking to break that 50.5 barrier, get 50-point low. Really hang on to this race. Looking very, very strong. Belgians are going to come back at him, though.
Well, Thompson staked it out at the beginning, as you said, David. But now they're coming in a line. In 3, Curtis Coulter, really swimming strong. Timmers, that bronze tan body, dangerous, but going very well in 3 with the touch. It's Coulter, 51.01. Well, just shows you how much easier it was. In the B final, you can be loose, you can be relaxed, there's really nothing at stake. You get a chance to swim absolutely yoke-free. And Coulter took his opportunity. Not as fast as we thought. 51.01. Timmers, 51.19. Thompson taking 3rd place, 51.38. Surgalus easing back a little bit, 51.79. Here's how it finished.
All coming in a line very, very, very close. Just on the touch must have been whoever just gets that timing of the arm getting out in front, extends as long as possible. Certainly nothing to pick with them going in 5 meters from the wall.
No, you're right. 3 or 4 Summers there could have made it, but well, that momentum was held by Coulter. Curtis Coulter from Swim Ulster, 19 years of age, 51.01.
In lane 4, representing the city of Glasgow, Robbie Rennick. Lane 5, representing Edinburgh University, Kieran McGuckin. Lane 3, from Edinburgh University, Richard Schaefers. In lane 6, also from Edinburgh University, Jack Thorpe. In lane 2, representing the University of Stirling, Jack Scott. In lane 7, representing First, Duncan Scott. In lane 1, representing the city of Glasgow, Alistair Stirling. In lane 8, representing Warrender, Josh Booth. In lane 0, representing North Ayrshire, Jordan Hughes. And in lane 9, representing the City of Glasgow, Daniel Scott.
Well, the A final, an expected pinnacle for 400 or 500 freestylers. Have you got any secret insight, David?
Yeah, I really expect Richard Schaefer's in lane 3 to use his 50-metre speed and get out. He can't get into a battle with Robbie and these guys. They'll eat him up. So I would expect him to be ahead at the halfway.
Good shout. Watch for Schaefer's then in 3. And obviously a very strong finish from Rennick. But the 100 sometimes is just too short a distance for his wonderful endurance to come through. .49.34, the Commonwealth Games qualifying time. These are the National Championships, A final 100 free, the blue riband of swimming. They get to 25. And Schaefer's not having it his own way, Dave.
Certainly not having it his own way at all. He's, if anything, a little bit behind Robbie at the halfway. Still looks like this is anybody's race. This is coming into the wall. All in a line, 24 lows. Off the wall, Robbie Rennick's going to be tough to beat from here, but Richie's looking right down at him.
What a beautiful turn by Rennick. He kept it long, he kept it to the last minute and then broke into the stroke. Now the 200 specialist, 400 man, he's going to be under pressure at the end of the race. Richard Schaefer's now coming back at the end, but Rennick showing his fighting spirit, what he's known for. Rennick gets the touch in 50.13. Again, the same as the heat swim, and that's the tension of a final.
Absolutely. Look at that race, Drew. Everybody in such a close thing that's coming down to such fine margins.
51.3 for the first to Rennick. Schaefer's with a 50.45 and a 50.51 for third place. This is how it finished. Rennick digging deep at the end.
Yeah, Robbie's always going to be so hard to beat coming down that back 20 metres. Such a close line for that 4 spots for the relay, but Robbie's obviously a clear winner. Anybody else's race after that.
Well, what a tight finish, and so tight attention for the place at 49.34, and the place was up for relays as well, and I'm sure that well, the Games team selected a little disappointed. 50 point from the heats, and it looked very easy, very comfortable this morning. I really thought they were going to go something special.
Yeah, you thought there might be 1 or 2 guys there breaking the 50-second barrier. You know, you didn't really expect that, but at the same time, you know, it's the first race out. They'll have another opportunity next week to build on that performance.
Congratulations, Robbie. Gold medal. How do you feel about your performance today?
It's simply not good enough.
You have the 200 coming up. How do you prepare coming off the back of that swim going into the 200 later this week?
Yeah, no, I don't know. I just got to find some form. It's a bit strange starting off with the 100, so I'm hoping for the best of the 200.
So you obviously swim in Tollcross, the venue for the Glasgow 2014. Does that affect you in any way?
It's a great facility to train in day out, so you know, I'm really privileged to train here, and Commonwealth Games are going to be here this summer, so yeah, it's really exciting.
Thank you very much, Robbie. Congratulations again, and we'll see you later.
Yeah, difficult questions.
Not happy boy the way.
No, he really thought he was going to have the speed there to go 49 point. You can tell that. Well, that's it. Twixt cup and lip. Or as they say, ifs and ands were pots and pans. If it only. But very good first 50 for about 6 or 7 of these swimmers going to the wall, and then you can just see the strength of Rennick at the back end of the 100, but you know, not getting out maybe just as quick as he would like. Just starting to warm up 100.
Yeah, and I think some of these guys maybe missed an opportunity there, to be honest with you. It's a solid swim from Robbie, but that door was open, that race was there for the taking.
Please welcome the medalists for the men's 100 metres freestyle, up to the women's 100 metres butterfly. And please welcome to make these presentations the Chair of Sports Scotland, Louise Martin. Bronze medalist representing Edinburgh University, Emily Jones. Silver medalist representing East Lothian swim team, Raquel Matos. The 2014 Scottish Gas National Champion representing Warrender, Fiona Donnelly. The Scottish Junior Champion representing Carnegie, Tane Bruce. Ladies and gentlemen, your medalist for the women's 100 metres butterfly.
Well, that's a presentation for the women's 100 butterfly. Unfortunately, the wrong graphic came up, and what you saw there was Jones take the bronze, Matos the silver, Donnelly with the gold medal, and Tane Bruce the junior. And that's how they present. It's gold, silver, bronze, and then the fastest junior gets the junior title. Little error on the graphic, but there you have it now. You saw it in the race, and we're back on track. Next up, the women's 200 freestyle. Here you have a B final and then an A final. There's no multi-class on this event. So again, just to remind you, the A final reserved for the top 10 Scottish times, Scottish swimmers, and the B final can be filled with people from all over, and of course the next fastest Scots in the list can go in there if there are vacant lanes. In the B final we've got the Belgian, the Ulster, the Windsor, the Jersey Tigers, and a few Scots in there, just to make them uncomfortable on their visit here to Glasgow. In the A final, we're looking forward to Caitlin McClatchy, hopefully the 28-year-old from Edinburgh University, making the qualifying time. Hashtag SGNC 2014 is the point of contact with us from anywhere in the world. Let's hear your tweets. Any tweets come in for us, David?
Yeah, we've been at a steady flow of tweets all day. A lot of tweets mentioning Ross Murdoch's performance earlier on.
So the tow cross facility with major changes. There was talk of the turn end as you see it to the right, getting extra seating, new 6-lane 50-metre warm-up swim down pool and training facility underneath the spectators that you can see now across the pool. Although I did hear that they had a training session there a weekend or two ago, and it seemed to be a fairly dark place when there's a lot of people and very noisy. obviously Glasgow Recreation trying to solve the problems of keeping the facility going at the same time as offering a major championship. It won't be like that at the Games, but it's certainly something for them to consider here at the Championships.
Got a tweet here from Andy Mayer. Says good shout out, big shout out to Drew and Dave. He did the commentary last time. How you doing, Andy? Hope you enjoyed the racing. And again, plenty of tweets coming in from all over the place, from Ulster, from Trinent.
What's our furthest away tweet so far?
I think the furthest away is Belgium. We obviously got some of the guys watching their teams training, teams racing.
Well, maybe the news will break, of course, on the different news sites in swimming about the British record and the very swift 27.28 by Ross, and more people will start to tune in. Obviously, we have lots of people not so much on holiday this time as we did last year in the month of May, but certainly from down under, that Scottish connection still very strong, and some of them peeking in.
Yeah, I think races like that one, like Ross's one, people will take notice of that, you know, and they'll be watching what we do here.
Well, we've just got a slight gap in the procedures, and we're going to get a chance to go back and hopefully get a look at that Robbie Rennick swim. He was clearly disappointed at the time that he achieved, and of course another national title may not be just quite as much. You see anything in here that could have been done better, Davey?
Nah, he's got his head down, he's driving in for the wall as hard as he possibly can. I just didn't think he had the speed early on, you know.
That was my feeling, I have to say. Just the field didn't get out quick enough. Not sure what it was, but they put it right on the edge with that split time, and of course when you see yourself going in with 6 or 7 swimmers, it's not so easy to concentrate and maybe go for a top time, top swim. Not at all saying that they weren't trying, but at that level in that class, you've got, you know, a measure of control on your swim that you know, maybe a developing swimmer doesn't have.
Yeah, and some of these guys, it just looked a little bit like they were playing into Robbie's hands a little bit. They'll know him and they'll respect him an awful lot, you know, and I just get the impression sometimes that they're a little bit too afraid to get out ahead of him, you know. Grace Reid, diver.
Well, that would be the plan, wouldn't it? Is to get out and make him really work in that last 10 metres.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so tough at the back end of the race. It's, you know, it's not an easy guy to beat at all. The only option is to get out well ahead. Give him some.
And when you're at 75, David, in the 100 freestyle, and you see, you know, that he's edged away a little bit, you know, you're on either side, or you maybe even a couple of lanes away, and you can see, you can sense that. Does that have an effect on you?
Yeah, definitely, because you're starting to hurt about then, and it doesn't help when somebody starts to move away. It definitely does. I would say the only option for some guys to compete against Robbie is you've got to make him swim in some of your wake. You know, you've got to give him a bit of a hard time, and you've got to get out ahead of him. Easier said than done.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Please welcome the medalists for the men's 100 metres freestyle.
So it's the women's 200 freestyle event coming up. B and A final. And here are the presentation of the swimmers for those events. The pool looking magnificent. The audience not quite full, of course, with all the extra seats. That's difficult, but a good strong contingent watching the first night of finals.
Back, Louise Martin, the chair of Sports Scotland, to make these presentations. Bronze medalist representing Edinburgh University, Kieran McGuckin. Silver medalist representing Edinburgh University, Richard Schaefers. The 2014 Scottish Gas National Champion, representing the city of Glasgow, Robbie Rennick. The Scottish Nash Gas Junior Champion, representing Carnegie, Craig McLean. Ladies and gentlemen, your medalist for the men's 100 metres freestyle. Apologies for the delay earlier. The reason for that is there was a review of the point situation in the multi-classification event, and I can tell you the revised top three now. The gold medalist Stephen Hogan, 745 points. Silver medalist James Clegg, 717 points. And the bronze medalist James Hamilton, 706 points. Ladies and gentlemen, please now welcome the medalists for the multi-classification men's 100 metres freestyle. And Louise Martin once again doing the honours for us. In fact, looks like Eddie Wilmot, the Vice President of the Scottish Amateur Swimming Association, doing the honours, and the gold medalist with 745 disability points from Carnegie, Stephen Hogan. So, ladies and gentlemen, multi-classification, 100 metres freestyle, Hogan, Clegg and Hamilton. And the honours to Stephen Hogan in the S9 category.
Well, we've had the medal presentations for the 100 freestyle, and the multi-class gold medalist there was Stephen Hogan. Before that, you saw, well, a pretty sad trio. McGuckin on the bronze, Schaefers on the silver, and Robbie Rennick on the gold, but missing the qualifying time for the 100 freestyle disappointed all three swimmers, and Master McLean of Carnegie took the junior championship in the 100 freestyle.
In lane 6, representing Jersey Tigers, Emily Bashford. In lane 2, representing Warrender, Katie Stark. In lane 7, representing City of Aberdeen, Hayley Duthie. In lane 1, representing City of Aberdeen, Caitlin Tootle. In lane 8, representing East Lothian, Jennifer Henderson. In lane 0, representing Belgium, Jolien Sismans. And in lane 9, representing Warrender, Jordan Sturt. Ladies and gentlemen, athletes for the final women's 100 metres freestyle.
This is the women's B final for the 200 metre freestyle event. In here, over in 0, Jolien Sismans of Viams in Belgium, a world championship swimmer in Barcelona last summer. In the centre of the field, the Carnegie swimmer Samantha Caulfield. In 4, Mary Kate McDowell of Ulster and Lucy Campbell of Windsor, leading from the heat times on 2:05. Second chance then in lane 9. Jordan Sturt from the afternoon slower heats managed to slip in, the 15-year-old from Warrender, into lane 9 in a B final. That's an already great achievement.
Absolutely. These guys will be looking to really get their tactics sorted out right from the start of this race. All coming out in a line. Slightly ahead, lane 5.
Is the time that Mary Kate McDowell
coming off the wall, really building into the second 50 and settling down into that rhythm.
Number 1.
If we're going to be much under the 2:05, I think we need to be looking at around about a minute 1 at the halfway point as easily as possible, and then really work the back end of the 200.
Lead Summers all looking very comfortable, swimming easily, keeping it long, looking as though it's no bother. And it isn't to those talented swimmers out there, but you've got to get there without it being too tough. Feet to the wall. Lane 4 McDowell gets it, 1:00.64, so setting up nicely to go under 2:05. And a good race developing at the front.
Yeah, definitely. Lovely technician there. Girl in lane 4 from Ulster. McDowell looking very, very long and strong. Very consistent breathing pattern and kick tempo. Really got to hit this last turn and then just drive for home as hard as possible.
A couple of Summers moving through. Bashforth in 6 looking dangerous. Building and building, just cutting the lead down. In 5, Lucy Campbell of Windsor under pressure for second place. Mary Kate McDowell still looking good for the victory here in the B final. She's looking for an Ulster qualifying time. Really should pick it up now. Able to swim for the wall. The stroke gets shorter for McDowell. It turns over quicker. She hits the wall. 2:04.28. First place then, 2:04. Next in there was a 2:05.85 and a 2:05.92 for third place to Caulfield, the Carnegie Swimmer. Some good improvements from heats to final, so that's another little feather in the cap. McDowell, Bashforth and Campbell, the 1, 2 and 3 in the B final. 4 low, 5 high, 5 a little higher. Very tight finish for second and third, but it was clearly McDowell's swim from the starting signal to the pad.
Oh, so close for second place there.
Please welcome the athletes for the A final of the women's 200 metres freestyle. In lane 4, representing Edinburgh University, Caitlin McClatchy. In lane 5, representing Edinburgh University, Megan Gilchrist. In lane 3, representing Carnegie, Rachel O'Donnell. In lane 6, representing Best, Lucy Hope. In lane 2, representing Edinburgh University, Hayley Monteith. In lane 7, representing Loughborough University, Aisha Thornton. In lane 1, representing East Lothian, Gillian Clark. In lane 8, representing South Aberdeenshire, Jessica Christie. In lane 0, representing Dumfries Dolphins, Abby Houston. And in lane 9, representing first, Rebecca Murray.
Well, this is the A final. All eyes really on Caitlin McClatchy in lane 4, the 28-year-old seasoned campaigner of Scottish and British swimming, representing Edinburgh University. In on 2 minutes from the heats. Has a 1:59.09 qualifying time to hit. She herself has maybe some question marks about it. Everyone else believes she can do it. She needs company, though, in the middle of this race, I feel, David.
Yeah, definitely. Some of the girls have really got to step up here. Get from 2:02s down to 2 minutes.
Yeah, see, it's a big jump, isn't it? 2:02 to 1:59 for most of them. And they swam very well to get this line up. So McClatchy in 4. Bright pink and black suit. That beautiful egg beater kick and a lovely base to swim technically fast.
Yeah, speaking to our coach before, he mentioned that he was really hoping she would really put the burners on the second 50 and just go for it early. Give herself a chance, you know, of getting a solid time together. Looks like that's exactly what she's doing. She's not slowing down.
Yeah, she needs to be disappointed by having tried to do this, I think, rather than regret by not getting out there and giving yourself a shot.
It's got to be around about the 57-point mark at a halfway split.
Yeah, pitched nicely. Very quick off the turn back into stroke, so she means business.
Yeah, looks like it, Drew. Looking strong still. It's not over yet, but she's really going to have to work into this wall and then just get down that last 50 with everything that she's got.
Yeah, the third quarter's always tough. In lane 3, Rachel O'Donnell just showing from the best of the rest. Megan Gilchrist and again Lucy Hope. But Caitlin McClatchy turning in 1:28. She has a real chance at this 59 low. Keeping the tempo up, looking strong. It's all about McClatchy and the time. The silver medal looking in lane 5 to Megan Gilchrist at the moment, just showing, but it's a battle across to the Carnegie Summer Rachel O'Donnell. Caitlin McClatchy shortening up, the hurt, the weight on the shoulders, the body getting lower. 159, 159.3. Oh, well, just not being there for so many times just makes it difficult to do it in a one-off. The 2 minutes, though, was a great setup and again looked a very comfortable swim. So McClatchy, Gilchrist, O'Donnell was the 1, 2 and 3. It was a 1:59 sub-2 minute for McClatchy, just outside the qualifying time. The 2:01 to Gilchrist and a 2:02.2 to O'Donnell, who swam very well in lane 6 and looked as though she would make it her own, from lane 3. The Carnegie Swimmer looked tough, but just lost it in the last part of the race.
Yeah, she's just dropping off a little bit coming into the wall here. I just think she left herself too much to do down the third 50. She was finishing strong. Head down, reaching into the wall, pretty good finish. Just left a wee bit too much to do, I think, Drew.
Yeah, it's difficult. The slow-mo makes it look as if there was a long gap to the hand to the wall once she'd made the last extension. You know, these are hundreds, and that's all it was.
Agonisingly close to the Commonwealth Games.
2900s then, eh?
She'll have some work to do, I think, and some questions to ask herself this week before getting off to try again next week.
So Caitlin will be back again here next week in the...
So you can hear the silence there, disappointment. We're expecting to load the team early in these 100 freestyles and 200 freestyles. Not to be, and just shows you how difficult it is. You get so close and you're ready, but just not fast enough on the day. And these hundreds, the difference between disappointment and glory. So
congratulations, Caitlin. You really dominated that race from the beginning. How do you feel your performance went?
Obviously, I'd have loved to have got the qualifying time, but I was pleased. I came in here with a bit of an injury, so I was didn't know how I was going to swim, so I'm pleased to get a low 1:59, and hopefully the team will have qualified for the 4x2 as well.
You've still got the 100 to come, so talking about your injury, how important is recovery in that process before you race the 100?
It's massively important. For someone like me, a bit of a veteran of the sport, I need to make sure I get lots of recovery and just try and work on technique work and things like that and get some physio and things like that.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Caitlin, and congratulations, and we'll see you when you race the 100. Thank you.
Well, Caitlin sounding bright.
Ladies and gentlemen, please.
You always, you want to believe the athlete, but getting that close and doing that kind of damage to the 200, don't think you can do that with a major injury, but there's always that thought in your mind that you might have a weakness.
Yeah, just the little niggles, you know. Obviously she's not on her deathbed, otherwise she wouldn't have been able to compete, but just little niggles just make it difficult. Just to be that feel that you're absolutely 100% ready and confident.
Callum Reid. In lane 2, representing Warrender, Matthew Anderson. In lane 7, representing the city of Glasgow, Edward Gray. In lane 1, representing Warrender, James Black. In lane 8, representing Warrender, Ross Woolley. In lane 0, representing Oxford University, Matthew Cortis. And in lane 9, representing Heart of Midlothian, Cameron Finlayson. Ladies and gentlemen, the B finalists for the men's 200 metres butterfly.
This is the men's B final for 200 metres butterfly. And out, ready for action. In the middle, Surgalus back in from the 100 freestyle B final to the 200 butterfly. Next door, of course, his teammate, national teammate and club mate, Van der Straat, and Adam Fall in 5. That's where the expected victory is to come from. Good start. A 200 butterfly. Good control and pacing and lovely length on the stroke in the first 50. These guys went 2:04, 2:05 in the heats. They'll be wanting to certainly get down underneath those times. Remember, the Belgians are swimming tired, unrested, and big demand from the coach to swim with real professional quality on all the racing skills. So the actual time for them is not just so important.
No, you can tell that they're going to use this as a training meet as part of their preparation for later on in the year. You can tell from the events that people select to do, it seems a little bit kind of random, doing more than one event one evening, various strokes, different strokes. So. Looking strong at the halfway though, Egon van der Straten. 57.47, that's a pretty solid split time. We'll be looking to try and hold on to that as much as possible, see if he can break under the 2-minute barrier.
There's a lot of power there. He's coming right out of the water. Nice high recovery. The legs together. One strong beat, one shallow beat. Really good technique in this third 50. Maybe he's just put all the effort into the first 3/4 of the swim. Surgalus in second place, but also going well. Adam Fall. And it's turning out the story of the meet to come from the centre of the pool.
Yeah, definitely. Looking really, really strong coming in here, actually. Probably just a wee bit shy of that 2-minute barrier, but it looks like it's going to be a real solid swim.
So, Egan van der Straten of Viamse from Belgium, representing his club here, of course, not the national team. 2 minutes 65. It's a nice drop from a 2:04. And he also developed through the European Juniors and then into the European Championships. A very strong swim in the 200 butterfly. Loved the strong legs and the technique that held up. Van der Straten with a 2-minute for the first place. Fall took the second place in a tight touch out with Surgalus, the second Belgian in the field, who came in on 2:05.13.
Yeah, clear lead. Really strong driving into the wall. Really great finish. Head down, spot the wall. Yeah, reasonable finish.
You're too kind. I would have him for that.
I think the end of a 200 fly, you've got to give up a little bit.
Yeah, never mind the end of the 200 fly.
In lane 5, representing University of Stirling, Cameron Brodie. In lane 3, representing Warrender, Dan Wallace. In lane 6, representing University of Stirling, Rossmuir. In lane 2, representing Carnegie, Mark Sharanek. In lane 7, representing Warrender, Sean Campsey. In lane 1, representing Carnegie, Craig Bowman. In lane 8, representing Best, Ryan Brown. In lane 0, representing City of Aberdeen, Felix Giffords. And in lane 9, representing Geary, Alistair Miley.
Well, the lineup for the men's 200 fly, A final. And you've got, well, a whole story in here. Shranek from Carnegie in 2. Dan Wallace, the Florida-based Scot, representing Warrender in 3. Lewis Smith, who went 2:00.61 in the heats. You just saw that in the B final. And Cameron Brodie, University of Stirling, and Rossmuir, University of Stirling, all in the mix here. A final, 200 metres butterfly.
A number of swimmers with a great chance here of achieving that Commonwealth Games.
Remember, 2:11 point. Sorry, for the men, the 200 fly, 1:59.23. They've got to go under the 2-minute mark. It's a big ask, really. But it's the first barrier.
Back in the closing stages, Dan Wallace and Lewis Smith, they were stronger in the second half of this 200 metres butterfly. So, it could be a fascinating race. Can we get anyone under that qualification standard of 1:59.23? Of course, if they make the standard, it's not guaranteed.
Not hanging about in 5. Cameron Brodie wants to have clear water and make the other swimmers work. Also looking good in 3, Dan Wallace. Nice distance on the stroke and looked very comfortable in that tempo. Nice quick turn there from the leader, Brodie, 56.31.
Yeah, Cameron's the only real 200-metre butterfly specialist that I would pick out of this field. The other guys are obviously very, very good, but I wouldn't say it was their best event. Cameron really focuses on the 200 flies as his main event, so you'd expect him to really hold on to this lead here.
Lewis Smith close in second position.
Lewis Smith, such a tough competitor across the tough events. Now Brodie driving, nice 8-9 metres off the wall, good use of the turns. Now Lewis Smith's going to give him a battle. It's shoulder to shoulder, nearly stroke for stroke. The higher tempo is with Smith, and that's always important going into the last 10 metres. The one that has the tempo and the momentum. Smith coming on this last 50. Stroke for stroke, Brodie digging in, head down, last 2 strokes together, and the touch does go to Brodie. You can see the red lights, the 1, the 2 dots or the 3 dots. And Brodie in 1:58.19 slots in a Commonwealth Games nomination time, as does Lewis. Wonderful, excellent. A first relief for the selectors that they've actually got a team nomination. It's not guaranteed selection, it has to go to the Commonwealth Games Scotland for ratification. Here's the finish.
Oh, real tough finish. Lewis is one of these guys you do not want chasing you down at the end of this race. It's very, very tough, very strong. Just held on there. I thought it was actually a pretty well paced race from Cameron.
Perfectly to hit Lewis Smith, but those 2 times.
Well, wonderful finish from the top 2, and they get the rewards for that. A 1:58, the 1:59. 2-3 for the 200 fly qualifying time. Well smashed by the lead swimmers as they cleared the pool. And the soldiers, who do a great job on the baskets, doing their job. And here's the thoughts of the winner, Cameron Brodie.
Congratulations, Cameron. That was such a nail-biting finish and under the qualifying time needed for nomination for Team Scotland. You must be thrilled with that race. How do you feel?
Oh, yeah, just really over the moon. What a good start to day one. Let's hope to build on it. So, yeah, a bit tired.
So you were in Delhi, of course. What lessons have you learned from there, taken into, hopefully, into Glasgow 2014?
Delhi was a fantastic experience. I mean, 4 years ago, it really, really was good. I'm sure Glasgow will be a lot better. I can't wait. But I've learned a lot in Delhi, and I'm hoping to put it to use in Glasgow.
Thank you very much, Cameron. Well done. Everybody, let's have a massive round of applause for Cameron Brodie.
So the procedure of the meet, having its own personality, moves on to presentation. It just starts to pick up a little rhythm and personality of its own. All the competitions do this. And day one sorts out the glitches,
these presentations,
and then it starts to roll along a bit more smoothly from day two onwards, usually.
Bronze medalist representing Carnegie, Rachel O'Donnell. Silver medalist representing Edinburgh University, Megan Gilchrist. The 2014 Scottish Gas National Champion representing Edinburgh University, Caitlin McClatchy. Scottish Junior Champion representing Warrender, Katie Stark. Ladies and gentlemen, your medalists from the women's 200 metres freestyle.
Well, the relief can be almost felt round the building with a couple of swimmers who have made times that will allow the Scottish swimming to put them forward, then nominate them to the Commonwealth Games, and have to get that ratified. That will happen in May, and this phase one, it was all set up. A couple of disappointments, of course, in the 100 freestyle. It's very difficult when you think that Britain have difficulty getting, you know, Britain have difficulty getting 4 men in the 4x100 to swim down at the kind of times that are at the European level. And it's just another step for Scotland to produce, you know, 4 men at that level. But it looked on from the heats. They're just such an easy swim, but you just cannot measure the effect of being in the final, the expectation. Second swim of the day. It's not a semi-final where you can then move it up and then have a rest. You've got to come and do the business in the evening on the same day. That's a really tough ask, Dave.
Oh, definitely. Absolutely. And most of those guys in there will be swimming around about their personal best times to make it into the final in the first place, with 1 or 2 exceptions. So, yeah, it's really not an easy thing to do, is come in and expect them to. You've got to try and make it happen.
Bronze bronze medalist representing Warrenderbath, Dan Wallace. Silver medalist representing the University of Stirling, Lewis Smith. The 2014 Scottish Gas National Champion from the University of Stirling, Cameron Brodie. The Scottish Junior Champion representing the Borders Elite Swim Team, Ryan Brown.
Well, you're just catching the last presentation. That's the junior, Ryan Brown of the best swim group, 16-year-old taking the Scottish junior title. And on the right there, the Florida-based Dan Wallace, missing out on his first event, the 200 butterfly. Brodie and Smith all smiles with those 158s on the board and a nomination to the Scottish Games team. Coming up next, the women's 50-metre backstroke. It's a B and A final in the short sprint on backstroke. Kimberly Boyce in lane 5 and Avramova from Ealing.
50 metres backstroke.
Popular.
In lane 9, representing Heart of Midlothian, Lexi Waller. In lane 8, representing Western Bartonshire, Chloe Barclay. In lane 7, representing Stirling Swim, Katinka Merkin. In lane 6, representing Loughborough University, Victoria Heavey. In lane 5, representing Belgium, Kimberly Burrs. In lane 4, representing Ealing, Katie Avramova. In lane 3, representing Belgium, Maika Ramal. In lane 2, representing Warrender, John Sturt. In lane 1, representing Stirling Swim, Cara Smith. And in lane 0, representing East Lothian, Rachel Sharples.
Well, the women's B final for the 50 backstroke getting ready. The swimmers out from lane 9 down to 0. Closing the box, waiting on the starter's command to enter the water. It's all changed, of course, many years ago now, and to save time and delay, they must just jump in as close as they can to the pad, take their grip on the bars, and then prepare for this very unusual start procedure. That back arch over the water, very difficult for many swimmers, and then 50 metres underwater allowed, and then they strike the stroke.
Yeah, Avramova, a great start there. Really showing clear at 25 metres. Strong swimmer, maybe just overrating it a wee bit too much at the moment, just a little bit too high tempo. Just needs to hold that water and drive right into the wall.
So Avramova comes here every year to the championships, 29.10. It's a nice improvement, 29.25 in the heats. Just looked a slightly, I don't know, just not quite on song with that for me.
Yeah, just trying to force the speed a little bit too much, it looks like, as opposed to just relaxing and letting your stroke do its work and keeping yourself long and working into the wall as opposed to spinning the wheels a little too much.
Second place to Boyce from Belgium, 29.1 to Avramova, and the two Belgians, Boyce and Ramael from Viamps, 30.08, 30.40 respectively. That's the 1, 2 and 3 from the B final. The A final looking at a qualifying time or a nomination time, 29.6 2-7.
In lane 9, representing Inverness,
big
Catherine
ask.
Offer. In lane 8, representing Carnegie, Chelsea Lawson. In lane 7, representing Carnegie, Kirsty Simpson. In lane 6, representing South Ayrshire, Karen Reid. In lane 5, representing First, Charlotte Mackenzie. In lane 4, representing Warrington, Kathleen Dawson. In lane 3, representing Best, Lucy Hope. In lane 2, representing City of Birmingham, Emma Smith. In lane 1, representing Warrender, Megan Briggs. And in lane 0, representing Mulgai and Bearsden, Julie Williams. Ladies and gentlemen, the finalists for the A final of the women's 50 metres backstroke.
This is the A final then. Kathleen Dawson, the Scottish record holder, 29.63. And she's really looking for a 29.27. You'd think it would be a small ask, but in the 50, small mistakes, big cost.
Great start from the girls in the middle of the lane there. Charlotte Mackenzie really got clear of the water. 3 of them arriving in the line at 15 metres. Just need to relax and keep it long and try not to fight the stroke too much.
29.27.
So lane 4 then, Kathleen Dawson under pressure. A good swim in 3 from Lucy Hope. Dawson now in the last 10 metres beginning to stroke away. Just very close. Now this last stroke, and Kathleen Dawson just does it. 29.21, and that's what you wanted to see. 29. Wonderful swim. 29.27. She goes 29.21, and that's a big relief for Catherine. So Dawson there. Just watch this finish.
Yeah, nothing in it with 15 to go. Nothing at all. Just in the last part, she just holds her strokes together a little better. 5 metres ahead, spotting the wall. 2, 1, in. Well spotted finish.
Yeah, we're not sure about the big lift out of the water on the finish. A lot of coaches prefer just to go for the wall. Takes a lot of effort to get out and some time to get out the water and do that back arch. Not sure it's a big advantage. Well, Dawson did it, and here's her thoughts.
Congratulations, Kathleen. Fantastic swim and under the qualifying time needed for nomination for Team Scotland. You must be thrilled. How do you feel?
Ecstatic.
That was such a close race between all 3 of you in such a short event. What can give you the edge?
The finish underwater, I think, and just going for it.
Well, you seem really happy, so we're all here happy for you. Everybody, let's have a massive round of applause for Kathleen Dawson.
Well, Dawson judging that her finish gave her a bit of an edge, and certainly the spotting of it was very interesting indeed, and certainly took that event away from the second place swimmer.
In lane 9, representing Mulgai and Bearsden, Greg Watson. In lane 8, representing Warrender, Ian Rose. In lane 7, representing Fife Performance, Greg Watson. In lane 6, representing Warrender, Daniel Lim. In lane 5, representing the City of Glasgow, Matthew Nicholson. In lane 4, representing Edinburgh University, Nicholas Quinn. In lane 3, representing Loughborough University, Kyle Barrett. In lane 2, representing Loughborough University, Max Hewitt. In lane 1, representing the city of Aberdeen, Ewan Dunbar. And in lane 0, representing Perth City, Tobermory Mackay champion. Gentlemen, speed finalist, men's 50 metres breaststroke.
This is the B final for the men's 50 breaststroke, a much anticipated event after Ross Murdoch's super swim this morning. Here you have Nicholas Quinn, 20-year-old from Edinburgh University, in the pole position in lane 4, 29.22 in the heats. Really good strong start from all these men. The underwater and the link to that stroke's just not quite good from all of them. That's going to make a difference.
Yeah, Nick Quinn coming through in the middle. He's a 200-metre specialist, so he's really going to come through strong. He'll be hoping to get close to that 29-second barrier. He's a wee bit more tempo.
I like the look of Kyle Barrett in 3, but just that extra background, 28.98 from Quinn. Good improvement, 28.98 from 29.22. That's what you want. Nice fast swim in the heats, a faster swim in the final.
He'll really be looking forward to the 100 and the 200, Nick Quinn.
So Dunbar taking that touch. Quinn 1, 2 and 3. Barrett is second place. Nicholson in third place with a 29.7. Just putting Daniel Lim into the 30-point mark. Quinn though, 28.98. Nice swim.
Yeah, clear ahead with 5 metres to go. Spotted his finish very, very well. As I say, 200-metre swimmer, so really, really strong and technically good.
Yeah, good sign of speed for his 200.
Yeah. Representing East Lothian, Mike Thompson. In lane 8, representing Stirling Swim, Douglas Scott. In lane 7, representing Edinburgh University, Ewan Ingalls. In lane 6, representing the city of Glasgow, Jamie Graham. In lane 5, representing Stirling Swim, Joseph Wellstead. In lane 4, representing the University of Stirling, Ross Murdoch. In lane 3, representing East Lothian, Mark Tully. In lane 2, representing City of Aberdeen, Mark Campbell. In lane 1, representing Warrender, Chris Kerr. And in lane 0, also representing Warrender, Andrew Rodgey.
Well, the A final readying. Ross Murdoch taking over from Daniel Slavinsky as the British record holder with that 27.28. Hard to see anyone take it from him, but there were also 2 others on the 27 mark. And it's a 28.5 for the 50 breaststroke nomination time. So a few swimmers here, if they just put it together in the evening as they did in the morning, they could make it to be nominated to the team. 50 breast, power dives, strong pull underwater, the link to the stroke. A better start from Murdoch in this 50.
This could go absolutely anywhere, Drew, I think. Ross's last 25, so strong. Joe Wellstead looking great in the middle of the pool as well. Doesn't look like he's got it all his own way. Maybe just pulling away now. This could go absolutely anywhere, Drew.
Yeah, lane 3, Mark Tully putting him under pressure, but Murdoch 27.28 equalled his British record. 27.73 and 27.83. 4 swimmers on the 27. A great swim at 27.9 from Ewan Ingalls. He's going to be the most disappointed guy in the pool at the moment. 3 summers per event. The first 3 went under the 28.5 target time. Well, that's a success.
Absolutely, what a close race. That kind of shows you what kind of quality of breaststroke swimming we've got in the country. You know, we've got 4 guys under 28.
Scottish breaststroke still on the move, eh?
Definitely. So close coming in. Look at this. Ross a little bit clear. Joe and Mark coming in right together. Impossible to split them apart from here.
Well, you need the electronic pad and the 100 separating those 27 points. Absolutely wonderful. And I wonder what he has to say about that second super swim of the day.
Okay, right, ready? Congratulations, Ross. That was such a close race. You equalled your British record from this morning and swam the qualification time needed for nomination for Team Scotland. Can you express how excited you are right now?
I'm really happy to have made the cut and to have come first today. Really happy with my heat swim this morning. You know, it's just great to be here. Happy to have done what I needed to do today.
Now, the depth of breaststrokers in Scotland is incredible. There was 6 guys going into that heat underneath the qualification time. How do you prepare for a final knowing that anybody could have made the qualification time?
Well, if you want to do anything in the 50 breaststroke in Scotland, you've got to be top 10 in the world. So, you know, you just got to prepare yourself for that, and then to do it in Scotland, it's easy.
Congratulations, Ross. Thank you very much. Everybody, round of applause for Ross Murdoch. Well done.
No fear, Murdoch.
No, absolutely not. He's always been like that, you know. Ever since he swam at Western Bartonshire, he's always had that attitude. It's great to see.
Well, not only top 10, but top swim in the world, 27.28 in the 2014 season.
50 metres backstroke.
Now we go back to the back.
And please welcome to make this presentation the Chief Executive Officer of Scottish Swimming, Mr. Forbes Dunlop. Bronze medalist representing Borders Elite Swim Team, Lucy Hope. Silver medalist representing First, Charlotte Mackenzie. The 2014 Scottish Gash National Champion from Warrington Warriors, Kathleen Dawson. The Junior Champion representing South Ayrshire, Karen Reid. Ladies and gentlemen, the medalists for the women's 50 metres backstroke.
Well, 50 backstroke, all in the finish. And I think Dawson did a good job right from the beginning of that swim. She just looked as if she wanted to take control over it.
Yeah, definitely. I noticed that as well. Looked very determined. She's only 16 years old. Really strong, determined girl for that age. I think she was right, though. Not necessarily the finish in terms of the touch, but certainly the last 10 metres is where she kind of won it.
Nice length on the stroke. You know, it's so easy to just whirl round in the backstroke and just slip water all the way. Just seemed to hold it up. And have you got any thoughts on the back arching at the finish, or just staying level and just making a normal reach?
No, I would agree with you. I think that it's I don't think there's much benefit to it, and I think there's too many variables and put you in a funny position, and if you end up gliding from too far out in that shape, you're going to slow down too much. So
yeah,
I would say
absolutely.
Just keep it simple. You know?
Your body's in the wrong shape entirely. Well done, good spot. But you see a lot of these kind of showboating finishes, you know, and of course it's copied.
Please welcome the medalists for the men's 50 metres breaststroke.
Well, that 50 metres breaststroke, the first real success for the Commonwealth Games trials. Here's the medal presentation.
Bronze medalist representing Sterling Swim, Joseph Welfare.
Silver medalist representing East Lothian swim team, Mark Tully. The 2014 Scottish Gas national champion in his new British record time, 27:28, from University of Stirling, Ross Murdoch. The Scottish junior champion representing Carnegie, Craig Barnes. His colleague Jack Sharanek picking up his medal. So, ladies and gentlemen, our medalists for the men's 50 breaststroke. What a race. And many thanks to our presenters, Forbes Dunlop and Councillor Archie Graham.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the athletes for the B final of the women's 400 metres individual medley.
In lane 4, representing Carnegie, Zoe Mitchell. In lane 5, representing City of Aberdeen, Jessica Thompson. In lane 3, representing Midlothian, Lauren Sutherland. In lane 6, representing Stirling Swim, Ella Shilliday. In lane 2, representing Lincoln Vulcans, Tara Hayworth. In lane 7, representing Warrender, India Dodd. In lane 1, representing Swim Ulster, Gemma Kane. In lane 8, representing South Aberdeenshire, Megan Feld. In lane 0, representing Dumfries Dolphins, Eve White. And in lane 9, representing South Lanarkshire, Erin Holmes.
The athletes in the final, women's 400 metres individual medley.
Women's 400 IM B final. Zoe Mitchell, Carnegie, 5:09.68, out there in lane 4. 15-year-olds, 14-year-olds getting into this final. Mitchell at 17, the oldest swimmer in the field, out to 5:18. Second chance to have a go at the 400 IM. Very tough event. This is a B final. A real chance to do damage to personal bests in the final, but it's been a tough first day, and remember, it's the first day of racing after, you know, training, then whatever you do for trying to peak here at the championships. The taper or the peak needs special treatment, and well, they need to get now into race mode rather than training mode.
Yeah, definitely. These girls here done a really good job to make it back into the final here. Zoe Mitchell really taking the butterfly out really strong.
On the final by just over a second.
Holding that breathing every 2 cycle like we talked about before. Holding the rhythm, holding the length of the stroke.
Strokes and weaker ones, but Zoe Mitchell.
It's interesting to watch onto the backstroke leg as it starts to spread the field a little bit.
Well, the butterfly seems to have scattered them a little bit. Good swims over there in lanes 1 and 2 from Gemma Kane of Ulster and Tara Hayworth of Lincoln Vulcans.
And in third position, looks like it is Gemma Kane.
Obviously, Zoe Mitchell not really messing about on the butterfly. The backstrokers now starting to work through, starting to come back into a better race. Remember, they are between 5:09 and 5:18 on the outside, so in the middle of the pool, we'd like to see good racing, somebody up shoulder to shoulder and giving a good environment for hard competitive racing.
0.4 of a second between the two swimmers.
Got to have your wits about you though. Got turns within each stroke. You've got turns from stroke to stroke. It's knowing where you are and exactly what you've got to do next, and quickly getting into the rhythm, the pattern, the technique of the following stroke. Butterfly, the hard swim, the temptation to ease off on the backstroke. Hold your technique and save some of your legs. Don't want to be over kicking on the backstroke because you need those legs in this next quarter, the breaststroke leg.
That are actually Scots, and Tara Hayworth is one of those 14-year-olds.
Nothing in it on the lead.
No, a very close race into the breaststroke leg. Sometimes interesting coming into the breaststroke leg because you can really find that the field spread a little bit, and sometimes it comes back together somewhat as the strong breaststrokers start to come back through.
So in the middle of the pool, 5:09 from the heat swim, Zoe Mitchell of Carnegie, 17 years of age. Just a nice steady rhythm, not overstretching, but some natural breaststrokers starting to cut down that early lead. Coming through in 5, Jessica Thompson of Coast. In second place over there in the yellow hat. In lane 2, you've got Tara Hayworth of Lincoln Vulcans, the Anglo-Scot. Very short stroke, nice and flat, just trying to keep the streamlining good on the power kick of the legs.
This morning she had something like a 4-second advantage on anyone else in the field.
So good breaststroke leg, still holding them off. It's Zoe Mitchell, a favourite with 4 or 5 seconds to spare, but got to be done. Through in 3:53.83 then. 100 freestyle to come back on.
Yeah, she's swam a really good race so far. All she needs to do is really just finish it off. She's led right from the beginning. 4 really nice technical strokes.
9.58. Tara Hayworth is having a good swim here. Clear in second.
Nice bright rhythm on the freestyle. Hayworth, second place, just cutting it back a little bit. And a nice swim over in lane 8 here from Megan Felt of South Aberdeen. Good heat swim to get into this B final. And now in third place, moving through. But they've got a long way to chase the leader. She's just made it her own. 17-year-old Zoe Mitchell of Carnegie. That famous, traditional, historic club from Dunfermline, constantly producing along their manufacturing line strong, competitive swimmers. And Mitchell joins them as she wins the B final in a super 5:04.1.
Yeah, that was a really well executed swim right from start to finish. Led it from the beginning. All the skills were great. All the strokes were in place. A really great swim.
Well, Mitchell in no trouble at all during that swim.
Well, summarise for you there.
5:04.14 for the first. That's Mitchell. Hayworth took a 5:08.42 at the end. And Megan Felt held on to third place with a 5:09.80.
Yeah, clear finish. Really, really nice rhythm coming into the wall there. Plenty of energy, finishing really, really strong. Second place up in lane 2.
Ladies and gentlemen,
great finish.
Please welcome the A finalists in the women's 400 metres.
So here come the swimmers for the A final.
In lane 4, representing Geary, Hannah Miley. In lane 5, representing City of Glasgow, Camilla Hattersley. In lane 3, representing Warrender, Sally Woods. In lane 6, representing Swansea University, Alice Tennant. In lane 2, representing Geary, Orla Adams. In lane 7, representing First, Chanel Snedden. In lane 1, representing Warrender, Rebecca Smith. In lane 8, representing Carnegie, Tane Bruce. In lane 0, representing City of Aberdeen, Ailey Duffy. And in lane 9, representing North Ayrshire, Jennifer King.
Gentlemen, the athletes for the A final of the women's 400 metres individual medley.
A final ready. The 400 IM nomination time is 4:45.44. Miley went 4:43 in a super demonstration swim this morning of the class of the swimmer. She is setting her pitch at 4:45 or under and did the business. Only other two swimmers, 4:50, 4:56, went under the 5 minutes, Hattersley and Wood. This by right should all be Hannah Miley, but Hattersley looked very good. The 19-year-old from City of Glasgow, some a very good 4:50, and it looked very easy. Sally Wood of Warrender, 23 years of age. That looks like the 1, 2 and 3 if they go to form. Can anyone surprise those swimmers in the centre of the pool? Hannah Miley then, British record holder, national institution, having to qualify. No pre-selection on this year of the Games, but I'm sure she'll do a very professional job.
Yeah, definitely. Trying to take it out here on the butterfly. Keep your eye on Camilla Hattersley. She's 4:50 in the heats. Potential to get under that qualifying time also, I would say. But it's all Hannah at the moment, as we expected. She'll just be looking to build on a really solid swim from this morning. 103.6 is pretty fast split for Hannah, so she's obviously going for this race. She's going to try and do everything that she can to learn as much from this meet as possible. As always, Hannah and Patrick, who are coached by her father, always trying to learn and improve and see what they can do from each meet, from one to the next.
Lovely tempo on the backstroke, head steady, very strong rotation, slightly smaller athlete than many of the top swimmers in the world. And she has to make the technique count and her fitness count and all the little skills which she does with such ease and aplomb. It looks very easy, but that backstroke, she focused on that for a while and improved that. Then she focused on the breaststroke, added that into the swim. She's always had that fantastic ability to, you know, metabolize the lactic acid and the poisonous products from such endurance events and big program swims, swimming sometimes 10, 12, 14 events. 2:14 on the way through, and a beautiful example of that underwater breaststroke, right out to 10 metres there off the wall.
Yeah, she really makes the most of all her skills, really strong on the breaststroke leg.
Individual medley, Hannah Miley,
Really looking really determined on the swim, Hannah, looking like she's after something. Lay down a marker. Hattersley looking strong also though, looking long.
Hattersley in second place, upsetting the apple cart in 6. Alice Tennant of Swansea University. Tennant in third place on the breaststroke. And Sally Wood, one of the favourites for the final, right out on the breaststroke here, lying in 5th place, trying to make it through. Wood working hard from 5th place. Good swim from Alice Tennant in 6th as Miley, with 15 metres to go, just keeps driving forward. Lovely rhythm and technique. The timing of that leg kick has just got to be spot on if you want to surf the top of the water and not be dragging the swim through on the breaststroke. 3:31 through. This is a good swim. Really committed. 4:31 British record. Just what she wants to do with this event. It's always difficult to pitch it properly when you've got so much space to target, haven't you?
Yeah, definitely. But Hannah's used to that, you know, and you can tell by watching her swim right now how determined she is to put down a marker for the rest of her season and get down into the mid-30s, mid to low 30s. This would be a really strong performance.
It's a very positive statement, David. She could have done it in so many ways to get under the 4:45. But this is class. This is taking a chance to rehearse in tow cross, to rehearse her speed, to get rid of all the expectations and the problems of selection or other meets. This is Hannah Miley on a really good swim here. 4:31 British record and a 4:35 just to make a statement in the world. That's one of the top swims of the season. Really, really good, positive, professional swim from Miley. Second place to Hattersley in a 4:46. That's still a good time from Hattersley in this A final. 4:50 to 4:46. Just missing the 4:45, 4:4. In third place, going to Tennant, she held on, gets under the 5 minutes, 4:53.38. She went 5:00.13 in the heats. And as the event closes with the lane 0 finish, you got to take your hat off to Hannah Miley for the way she approached that swim here in the trials. 4:35.48 for victory and Miley. Hattersley with a 4:46.11. Good swim for her. And Tennant, 4:53.38 for third place in that A final, and another sub 5 minute swim.
Yeah, wonderful swim there. All on her own. Nobody else in sight, just coming in, driving into the wall. She's obviously determined to put something down there. She always swims like that, but I just think that at the moment she's really determined to put something solid together and build her confidence going into the game.
Yeah, whole number of 4:40s, dead easy. That 4:35 is a class swim, and now we'll see how she approached this event on the first day of finals.
We're going to hear from Hannah right now.
Congratulations, Hannah. That was a fantastic swim. You dominated it from the beginning, almost made it look easy. How do you feel that performance went?
I wish 400IMs could be easy, but they're not. Yeah, it was great. I definitely know that there's a lot more in the tank, especially now. I've got the time, I've qualified, and I kind of now can put the mileage back in and step it back up to go even faster for the actual
So you're well inside the qualification time needed for nomination for Team Scotland. How do you prepare from now until, with the likelihood you'll be on the team into going into July?
Well, I'll sit down with my coach, who's my dad, and basically we'll plan out the training requirements, what was good, what wasn't good, what needs to be tweaked and worked on, and just get stuck back in and just train even harder to make the time even faster.
Congratulations, well done. We look forward to seeing you swim later. Everybody, round of applause for Hannah Miley!
Well, asking for secrets there, eh?
Yeah,
how are you going to prepare?
But you can see how they use each race to learn something and then reflect on it and then build the next block of training.
The In lane 4, representing Perth City, Stephen Milne. In lane 5, representing Stirling Swim, Martin Kremin. In lane 3, representing Warrender, Craig Hamilton. In lane 6, representing the City of Glasgow, Chris Lowther. In lane 2, representing City of Glasgow, Ian Porteous. In lane 7, representing South Lanarkshire, Angus Barr. In lane 1, representing Warrender, Matthew Anderson. In lane 8, representing City of Glasgow, Mark Deans. In lane 0, representing Perth City, Scott McClay. And in lane 9, representing South Mainland, Donny Price.
Great expectations also for the next event up, the men's 1500 metre freestyle. Over the last 10-15 years in the world of swimming, this has been one of the pinnacle events. The battles with Hackett, Chinese star at the Olympic Games, and here Scotland coming in with a host of good 1500 metre swimmers. The favourite, Stephen Milne, in the centre, the 19-year-old representing Perth. He's got a 15-14 here. We know he's an animal in training and had difficulty resting up for this championship. His coach telling me that that's her most difficult job, getting him to rest.
Yeah, you can tell that from the type of character. He's a real workhorse. Really enjoys his training. Really enjoys pushing himself. Very talented athlete. Very smart kid.
Again, the qualifying time on the 1500 freestyle is a 15:27, well within the capabilities of Stephen Milne. But at 15:40 and 15:44 next door in lanes 5 and 3, he maybe won't have much company in the latter part of this race.
No, I wouldn't have thought so. I would have thought that after about 400 or 500 metres he would have had a fair amount of clear water, but these guys will want to give him a hard time, and they'll by no means think that this is a done deal.
Yeah, you've certainly got to have that thought in your head. But the danger in going with him is that you're swimming somebody else's pace and something that you've maybe not trained for. So remember, you can hashtag us SGNC at 2014. We want to hear those tweets, we want to hear your thoughts, and know that you're out there supporting Scottish swimmers at a distance. Anything on the wire, David?
Yes, we've had a few tweets from all over the place, Drew. We've had Bram Kops from Belgium. Hi, Bram. He says, "Go Belgium." Quite right. Great swimming by the Belgian guys. Had the UWC Dragon swimming all the way from Singapore. Wishing all the best to Lewis Smith, our honorary Singapore Dragon. It's a long way away. More confirmation of the great swims coming from the Swim Ulster group. Lots of PBs, lots of solid swims.
Clear ahead of the rest of the swimmers in this field.
And thank God for live streaming, says Ellie DeLeo. Hope you're enjoying it. Seems like you are enjoying it.
Very close between 3 swimmers there.
And somebody is sitting 4 seats away from Michael Jameson. He's obviously here watching.
Creep ahead of
so that's exciting.
Swimmer in lane number 3.
And then lots of stuff from Uni of Stirling and Scottish Swimming, congratulating the guys from Uni of Stirling for that performance, and Ben Higson and the team at Stirling for getting those guys into such great shape. Keep the tweets coming in. Really like to hear your thoughts. Hashtag SGNC 2014.
Yeah, maybe get some more later as we see this 1500 unfolding. Milne in 4, Lovely, easy action. Nice, steady leg kick at the back. Some interruption, but mainly heading for a 6 beat and going with him in lane 3, Craig Hamilton of Warrender. And, well, still on track. Martin Kremen of Stirling, the 22-year-old, entered on 15:40. That target time, 15:27.28. It's a big ask to come down off a 15:40, but of course, you never know when you're in the race and just what condition you're in. Milne then going through in 4:02.7 at the 400.
4:02.79 for Milne.
Good first quarter.
Yeah, pretty close at the front. Also think Martin Kremen's looking really, really strong, looking really long and really smooth in his stroke here. He tends to lack a little bit of speed compared to the other guys, so you don't want to get into a tussle with him late on. Great to see him really getting up in the mix, getting involved in this race. Early doors yet though, Drew, right?
Yeah, a lot of swimming to do. This is the stage where they now feel, they get a sense of how they feel and what the swim's like for them. Remember, they didn't swim any heats. This is what they call a timed final. All the times from the two sessions, session 1 and session 3 are ranked, and that's how the medals are decided. Of course, for Milne, it's about the time as much as the place, and it's good he's got company in this early stage. This is just setting up the swim, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Have to be in that kind of, there's a number of ways to swim the 1500, and I think at any level towards the Commonwealth Games you need to have a few weapons in your armoury. For example, you want to get down to close to 15 minutes, or between 15 minutes and 15:15. That basically means swimming 60 to 61 seconds per 100. So as you start getting further through the event, that becomes more and more difficult to hang on to, that kind of a split. Stephen will be very, very good at that though, swimming a very even paced swim, very strong all the way through.
Well, 6:06. Just hitting on the 62s, 61 highs. You be careful he doesn't lose touch with the battle with Craig Hamilton in 3. Hamilton, just a very different stroke altogether. Front-ended, very little off the legs. Good workhorse swim. An arm-dominated stroke, keeping the legs back for maybe something later on. Whereas you can see in lane 5, Martin Kremen of Stirling, the yellow hat there nearest to us. Just a little bit of white water at the back, the legs working quite steady through this 1500. The modern swimmer trying to be fully conditioned, arms and legs. So good challenge for Milne as they both go through in 7:08. So 62s, just not letting it go, keeping a wary eye on the competitors, just taking a check breath to the left, then to the right, making sure there's no slip-ups. So in a good race here. We had 4:02. So there's the way to swim at even pace, machine-like, putting the training and transferring it into the competitive swim, but at a very different level. And it's whether or not you can hold on. And certainly Hamilton pushing him hard.
Yeah. Really, really great to see.
Hamilton this time is definitely going to take the lead at the 800 mark. As 809.
Obviously come here really well prepared. Coming in under 8:10 at the 800 metre mark is
pretty much on course
to be miles under that qualifying time. So if you can just hold that rhythm together, race unfold. But Martin Kremen's not letting it go. He's keeping involved as well, and Stephen Milne's certainly not getting it all his own way.
We're now coming up to the 800.
Yeah, it's nice to see Kremen in the mix too. The race is gone apart from these three in the middle of the pool. The others are in their own world, in their own swims, out at 15.55s and low 16s. But the business end of this swim is Stephen Milne against Craig Hamilton and Martin Kremen, who's stalking them just a couple of metres back. And they get to this turn. This could be a vital point as they get to the 900, 1000 mark. It's whether or not they can hold the pace swimming. Milne getting the better of the turn, but Hamilton putting him under pressure. Don't know if he was expecting this.
Just get the impression, Drew, that Stephen Milne in the middle is playing a bit of a tactics game here. Not that he'll be holding back at all. I just think that he's going to leave himself a real strong finish. Craig Hamilton's obviously thrown a spanner in the works to Stephen by getting ahead of him, so it'll be interesting to see how he copes with it.
Indeed. Well, you go where you haven't been before, you can expect to find things you've never seen before. So here you are, Hamilton putting the pressure on. The Wandersummer entered on 15.44 and having a real go at this 1500 A final. Remember, it's national championships, it's Commonwealth nomination times. That 15.27.28. There's just a very slight gap now between Hamilton and Milne. Kremen dropped off the race. Now this next 200 metres is definitely not for your weary or your unfit. You've got to really dig in here.
You're right, you mentioned that earlier, Drew. It's really easy to take your foot off the gas around about this point, just to leave yourself until about 200 metres and then pick it back up again, but you can't afford to do that at this level.
Yeah, well, we know he's got the speed. He went 50 point in the 100, but can you do that? And should you leave yourself the need to do that at the end of the 1500? But
sorry, Drew, it looks like he's starting to wind it up a little bit now. It looks like his Stephen's stroke rate's just picked up ever so much.
He's going to be in first position.
Get back on terms with.
In second position, Martin Kremen.
Hamilton looking a bit more ragged now, not just quite the same rhythm, really having to work very hard. Milne looking like he did at the beginning of the swim. Kremen dropped off the pace, but can he come back? This next 100 is key to see what Milne will do. Just starting to pick up ever so slightly, and you've got a match of Milne trying to pick up or hold his swim, and Hamilton really getting ragged, getting low in the water. The tempo, a workhorse from the front.
Really showing his strength here.
Kremen, the Stirling Summer. It's now down to a two-horse race here, helping each other through to perhaps a nomination time.
Yeah, this is unfolding to be an absolutely fantastic race here at the front. All three guys really, really going for this with everything that they've got. 300 metres to go. Nothing to split the first two guys.
12.17. You can sense, you know, I've heard swimmers describe this part as actually going over the top of the hill and swimming downhill on the way home. Yeah. They're so glad to get through that particular phase of the 1500. Milne got himself back, eyeball to eyeball. That's good.
He does in 12.40.
Still holding a long push off and underwater. Milne stretching it now, putting the pressure back on Hamilton. This has been a good race. Both men helping each other. Hamilton trying hard to respond.
Yeah, still nothing between them with 200 metres to go. Martin Kremen needs to keep working as well. You never know, he could be under that qualifying time also. 200 metres left. Come on, lads.
13:19. It's looking good. But now building this, holding the stroke, keeping the length, knowing the background work is done. Lots of confidence. The gauntlet going down. I think you're right, David, building for a strong finish here. But Hamilton's not letting him go. All good to the Warner man. Remember, Milne is 19. He's got 3 years on Hamilton. And that means a lot. Kremen in third place, but well back from the race. Hamilton digging hard, keeping the stroke up tempo, but he's just losing a little bit of distance on the actual power of the pull. The bell of relief, 100 to go.
Yeah, these guys are going to be under the qualification standard for sure. Stephen Milne looking very strong. Martin Kremen needs to finish under a minute on this last 100. He's got to go for it.
Surely, fourth on the way to a qualification standard. They are improving.
Well, they can shake hands at the end of this. Great race. Hamilton still digging in. He hasn't used his legs much during the race. Does he have anything left in the last 50? Milne will come out of this like a bat out of hell. Look at that, the 6-beat leg kick. Hamilton immediately uses it. Milne puts it in as well. Remember, Milne went 50 point, 25 to go, 15.5. It's a 15.27. The title goes to Milne. A wonderful swim from the Perth-based Anne Dixon coach swimmer. Stephen Milne makes the qualifying time by some way, as does Craig Hamilton. And Martin Kremen digging in here. He's going to be just outside 15.27.98. 7/10 off the time. What a feeling it must be going through Martin Kremen's mind. And that's a difficult one to come back in a week's time and do that kind of performance on the 15.
Listen, he swam a personal best time and he's trained hard all year round. He's got nothing to be ashamed of there. 15.27 is a really respectable time, and it's a good PB for him. Couldn't have done anything more.
Well, the swim's yet to be completed. Such is the difference between the top of Scottish swimming on the 1500 and some of the juniors. A 14-year-old in lane 0, Scott McClay, well back off the finish, and the swimmers will have to wait on him, but I'm sure you'll get a very good individual cheer as he completes this. 16:32, the clock already out. 16:25. This is going to be a very disappointing swim for the youngster from Perth, but he can always say that he swam in a wonderful race in the A final at the National Championships. 16:43 to Bryce, Donny Price of South Main, and over there in lane 0, Scott McClay rounding off a very interesting and exciting men's 1500. The 1, 2 and 3, Milne with the gold, Hamilton the silver, Kremen the bronze, in that heartbreaking time of 15.27.98, 7/10 off the qualifying time. Milne and Hamilton up for nomination for the Games team.
Be happy with their efforts there.
Well, we'll clear the water and we'll get the thoughts of Stephen Milne. And Dixon was saying earlier that she had to really bullying him into resting.
Yeah, it's been a long race for those guys. All credit to Craig Hamilton for making that such an amazing race. You can see Stephen just finishing with a lot of power and a lot of speed.
Ruling 1500, you can see their athletes turning.
He really held it well in the middle of that race, holding the distance on the stroke and you know, not panicking when Hamilton took the break at around about the 1200 metre mark. That was good class swimming, and then coming back and just showing the class that he has.
Guys, congratulations. That was an epic race between you both. I think everybody was on the edge of their seat. You're both underneath the qualification time needed for nomination for Team Scotland. Stephen, how are you feeling right now?
Sick.
Craig, how are you feeling? You must both be delighted, though.
I mean, yeah, I'm over the moon. Stephen's always a hard guy to race against, especially down that last 50 where he just takes off. So I was happy to be close to him at the end.
So 1500 is such a long distance event. How do you keep yourself focused and motivated over the course of the race?
Well, for me, it was just trying to get under that time the whole time. I was just keeping that in my head and wanting to do it. So just...
Stephen?
Just focusing on like processes, like the wee things make the big difference. So not like thinking about the time too much just creates barriers. Just like good turns, good transition, all the stuff to go fast.
Well, congratulations on making that time and on your gold and your silver. Well done, everybody. Round of applause for Stephen and for Craig. Well done.
Yeah, well, you don't seem as happy as you might be.
No.
I mean, it's a good time as well as for a 15-14 for Stephen Milne, and going 15-18 there in the final. A little bit more to come.
Yeah, definitely. And I think what you mentioned earlier, just about him learning how to prepare for the bigger events as he gets older, is going to be a real key thing for him in the next couple of years.
Please welcome to make these presentations, Derna Campbell, 2014 team member for Swim Scotland. Bronze medalist representing Swansea University, Alice Tennant. Silver medalist representing the city of Glasgow, Camilla Hattersley. The 2014 Scottish Gas national champion from Geary, Hannah Miley. Scottish junior champion representing first, Chanel Snedden. After the excitement of that men's 1500 metres, we're into the relay. Remember, of course, that we had the first heat in the afternoon session. That was won by South Lanarkshire B team in a time of 9 minutes 04.68. So that will be the time for these athletes to beat. Most of them with faster entry times than that, so we would expect the medalists to come from here. Also 4 junior teams to battle out for the junior champions. South Lanarkshire first, Warrender and West Lothian will be all doing battle for that. Should be a good way to finish here, the 4x200 relay. Just 7 tenths separating the entry times for City of Glasgow and Warrender, the old Glasgow versus Edinburgh contest. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the athletes for the final heat of the women's 4x200 metres freestyle relay. In lane 4, City of Glasgow swim team. In lane 5, Warrender Baths. In lane 3, First. In lane 6, East Lothian swim team. In lane 2, South Lanarkshire A team. In lane 7, Dumfries Dolphins. In lane 1, Stirling Swim. In lane 8, Swim West Lothian. In lane 0, City of Aberdeen. And in lane 9, Ren 96.
Ladies and gentlemen, the team for the final heat.
This is the final event of the first day. A day where everything started to be laid out on the table after the hard training, a full season, and coming to the National Championships, Commonwealth selection trials. It's all now out there for people to look and analyse, learn, make adjustments. And we're anchoring this first final session with a women's 4x200 metre freestyle relay. A chance to see how the race develops with the four summers going 200 each. 9:04.68, well within the compass of most of these teams. The 9:04 coming from the afternoon swims, where the first heat was swum. Again, like the 1500, the times are ranked and the order is calculated from there. Just a reminder of the teams. Up in the top half from 0 to lane 4, you've got City of Aberdeen, Stirling, South Lanark and First and Glasgow. Then you've got Warnder, East Lothian, Dumfries, West Lothian and Ren 96. Have we any tweets, David, that have come in just to get it in early before the, I'm sure, a very exciting finish to the 4x200?
Yeah, again, just more congratulations for some of the guys like Hannah, Ross, a lot of the athletes. Luigi Bonini saying congrats to Hannah and Ross. Charlie Balderson says great swimming from University of Stirling. Danielle Sturrett says jumping up and down, screaming by myself, watching Craig swim. Yeah, amazing effort from Craig in that 1500. And Bram Cobbs again, very entertaining. 1500 turns and underwater technique is so important. Definitely right. Good call, Brams.
Lane 6 then heading out the first quarter of the swim. East Lothian's Jennifer Henderson, 15 years of age. Nice length on the stroke. Nice little swim here. Jordan Sturt for Warnder in 5. A very busy day for her. Over there in second place, it's lane 3 and Chanel Snedden going for first. That's the first group, not first place, although she will be going for first place. And East Lothian then in with a very strong start in the 200. This is what we saw in some of the heat swims, going out very quick on the first 50. For me, a little bit of over kicking from Emma Crawford, the second summer for East Lothian, but if that's the way she likes to swim and it's effective, great. You want to be kicking water rather than air, so maybe something to pick out of her swim. The race building up now in the middle of the pool.
Yeah, getting chased down a little bit from the first swimmer, Lauren Prouet, only 14 years of age, putting her team in a really good position here. A long way to go, but still each of these athletes will want to put their team in the best spot possible.
Lauren Prouet just trying to cut down that lead and is doing so effectively. It was a very, very bright start from Emma Crawford. She's managing to hold the same tempo And those legs right out of the water is very distinctive. You can see across the pool there has been a quiet cutting of the gap by Lauren Pirouet, the 14-year-old from first. And the favourites in the centre of the pool, City of Glasgow, Victoria Milburn, 18, and Ailsa Timoney trying to bring Warrender into the mix as well.
Yeah, we heard earlier looking for the Glasgow Edinburgh tussle here, but East Lothian and Falkirk having none of that at this point.
So coming to the halfway mark, it's lane 3 and lane 6 with surprise leads at this time, but have they front-loaded the team? Have they put their best swimmers out first and second, hoping to be in this position, and then ask a bit more from their slightly weaker swimmers? But Alex Cunningham, the 16-year-old, in lane 6, taking over and swimming very quickly in the turnover of the first 25. Glasgow's Libby Adams, at 15 years of age, starting now to cut down on the lead. Warrender still lurking in 4th place. They won't like that. A lot of swimming to come in this 4x2, but it's a nice surprise. Always like to see the turtle being turned, and some outside swims putting pressure on the main challengers.
Yeah, definitely. I also think some of these girls, amazing experience coming into a meet like this, particularly for East Lothian and Falkirk. They'll be really, really wanting to win this race. Nothing to kind of motivate you like your teammates giving you a bit of a lead into that last leg.
Well, Alex Cunningham's leads definitely cut down. Good swim from Jenna Lafferty, again 14 years of age, young team from first. Jennifer Ritchie at 17 anchoring the East Lothian. So it'll be a 17-year-old against a 13-year-old in the last leg. That'll be exciting. Glasgow and Warrender right out of it at the moment for the lead position. They might have a battle for the bronze. It's a big gap to catch up, but seen it done in the 4x2. Some tired swimmings on the final leg of this third section, David.
Yeah, but still holding on there. Like you say, a lot of tactics going on between the coaches, and it remains to be seen what's left in the tank for each team. So I think this could go right down to the wire potentially.
Well, lane 3 in the lead. The first group, Katie Taylor, 13 years of age, going in there. And, well, what would you expect from a 13-year-old? Head down, driving those legs.
Going like the clappers.
Now, Jennifer Ritchie, 17 years of age, in the yellow hat there of East Lothian, nearest to you, with every stroke bringing back the 13-year-old leader. For Glasgow, you've got Zoe Scott, and it's India Dodd, the 15-year-old for Warrender. A big ask, Warrender looking to go for the bronze. Glasgow trying to move up on the silver. Out there, the 13-year-old Katie Taylor, doing a marvellous job for the very young team in this 4x2. 8:45 entry time for the first group as they go with 100 to go. Can they hold on?
Yeah, well, 13 years of age. Look at her go, Katie. She's going like the clappers. Not slowing down, no sign of...
That'll be a technical analysis, that, David, is it? Like the clappers, good? We know what you mean. Well, no impression. Tried very hard. Katie Taylor, the tempo has dropped, the strength has dropped, but she's hanging on here. A big lead, she added to it, but now she's losing it with every stroke. Jennifer Ritchie cutting it down. Warrender up beside Glasgow. Will Glasgow in their home pool lose the chance of that bronze medal in the last 50? And will that help them come back on the East Lothian squad in 6? Taylor hanging in. Team being shouted home. She's tiring, she's shortening, but she's obviously a driven competitor, Katie Taylor.
Yeah, great swim.
Driving in, 10 metres to go, in 5. What a young team, 14, 14, 14, and Katie Taylor at 13 take the gold. Look at that time, 8:46.55. What a great leg there for Warrender to take in 8:51 a silver medal, and just snicked it off East Lothian. 51.92 to Ritchie, anchoring that East Lothian team. Great race from Dodd in the last leg. Glasgow out to 5th place in that final. Not close and exciting, but exciting nevertheless, as you saw those outsiders take on the might of Warrender and Glasgow and take the medals. So Glasgow out of the medals on this occasion. Warrender with the bronze, East Lothian, Warrender with the silver rather, East Lothian with the bronze, and a surprise first taking the gold medal position with a very young team. What's the future hold for those 4 swimmers?
Junior team, so not only senior champions, junior champions as well.
Clearing the pool after a very exciting night of finals. A lot of highs and lows. So there's Katie Taylor.
India Dodd just coming in here, just nicking it just in the last 5 metres.
Wow. Thought Ritchie would have held on, but good swim by India Dodd, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Lovely leg, nice split.
Yeah, could easily have given up on that. She was quite a long way away to begin with.
Well, those 4 youngsters, they're having to deal with media and see what they've got to say.
Congratulations, the girls from first, winners of the 4x200 freestyle relay. That was such a great race. You really took command of the whole thing in the 3rd leg. How do you feel about your performance?
Yeah, we thought it was really good. We all went faster than our heat times as well, so that was really good.
Excellent. Well done. Everybody, round of applause for the girls from first, our winners of our 4x200 women's freestyle relay.
Future spokeswoman stepping forward to answer for the team. And don't know where the heats were swum, but certainly a wonderful victory for the first squad. So, what are you remembering from that session? You've seen a lot of swimming. What are you remembering? A couple of highlights.
I would say, obviously, Ross Murdoch again. And the 1500 was a great race. And then there's a couple of guys I'd be quite disappointed for getting so close. Camilla Hattersley and Martin Kremen getting so close. But that's the way it goes. Always some people happy, some people a little disappointed.
Yeah, if you go in, you have to prepare to win, but you've also got to prepare to have a disappointment.
Silver medalist representing Warrender Baths, Craig Hamilton. The 2014 Scottish Gas National Champion from Perth City, Stephen Milne. The Scottish Junior Champion representing South Lanarkshire, Angus Barr. Ladies and gentlemen, your medalists for the men's 1500 metres freestyle. So with just one more presentation to go, highlights of the evening, some pretty good swimming for day one.
Excellent swimming there. And what a great swim. Another British record, an equal British record.
Yeah. Stephen Milne taking the gold medal there for the 1500. That was one of the highlights of the swim today. And also Ross Murdoch equaling again his British record. That's a tough ask. Thought he'd go better, he had a better start, but again the tension of the final just biting
for that
deep into the summer's performance.
The 1500 freestyle, the longest event
Lovely
on the programme.
finish to the event this evening, rather, the 4x200, the youngsters in the first team, absolutely no fear, no respect, and taking the gold medal from Warnder and from Glasgow. East Lothian also in there in the mix for a fine bronze medal.
But next week, Martin, you can do it.
So that's the highlights. The pool emptying very quickly. It's been a long day for swimmers and coaches. Remember to go to Scottish Swimming's YouTube channel. You can catch up with anything you've missed. And we really do appreciate the support that you've given to this show of the meet. So here's the last presentation. Swimmers from the relays. Got to finish off. It's a shame that there isn't a bigger crowd to support him, but well, that's the way of a working job.
The presentations. Bronze medalist, East Lothian swim team. Jennifer Henderson, Emma Crawford, Alex Cunningham, and Jennifer Ritchie. Silver medalist, Warren de Baths. The Warrender team, Jordan Sturt, Elsa Timoney, Libby Adams, and India Dodd. The 2014 Scottish Gas National Champions are first. Falkirk Integrated Regional Swim Team. The athletes Chanel Snedden, Lauren Pirouet, Jenna Lafferty, and Katie Taylor.
The end of day one finals programme. It's always a nervy, tension-filled day, the first day of any championships, and it's been no different here in Tollcross at the Commonwealth Selection Trials. We're back on air tomorrow at 8:30, the session at 8:45 British Standard Time. We hope you can join us again because we do appreciate your company. Session tomorrow, same number of finals. You got to look forward to the women's 100 breaststroke, the men's 200 breaststroke, and Michael Jemison's appearance. So there's something to whet your appetite for tomorrow.
Proceedings for the
You've got all that to look forward to.
in the 2014 Scottish Gas.
Thanking my co-commentator Dave Leith for his insight and his comments. It's been a tough initiation, but he's served it well. To Glasgow Life, Scottish Gas, to the sponsors, Speedo and Scottish Salmon, thank to them. And we'll be back tomorrow morning, remember, 8:30. Hope you'll join us. We thank you for watching and for subscribing on to YouTube. It all helps with this exciting presentation of those championships. Early start, but we're sure you'll enjoy it. From me, Drew Gordon, and all of us here at Towcross International Swimming Centre in Glasgow, it's good evening. We look forward to your company tomorrow. Take care.
Was great, but I'm getting ready to make 2014 even better.
It'll be a great night just to catch up, relax, and as a swimmer actually get to dress up and look normal.
And then a chance to see lots of people from all around different parts of swimming and have a good evening with them.
The awards ceremony was fantastic with most people turned out ever, so years to come it's just going to get bigger and bigger.